Welcome to this exclusive interview with Arturo Picicci, the Vice President of Value Brands and Strategy at Verizon. I'm here in Vegas for the All Wireless and Prepaid Expo, and I got a really cool opportunity to interview Arturo on the current state of the prepaid space and some insights into wireless as a whole. So we'll talk about Verizon's presence specifically in this prepaid space, and hopefully this can give you all a pretty cool look inside of the wireless industry. So as a quick disclaimer, this is not sponsored by Verizon or any other company, and everything I say is coming from me. So you're with Verizon's Value segment. What's under Verizon's Value segment?
So thank you for having me. I love to be with you and give you insights on the value brands that we have in Verizon. Look, we do have several brands, and all with a purpose. But if I go high level for you, we do have Verizon Prepaid, that if you think about it is very close to Verizon Postpaid. Then we have next to it Total Wireless. We will talk more about it. We just rebranded. We have it a big focus here because it has a very good, powerful network and features for the network. Yep. So we will talk more about that. In Walmart, we have Straight Talk, an amazing brand, nationwide, very powerful too. And then we have also Walmart Family Mobile, a brand designed for families, more in the lower income, working very well for us. You know, we have SafeLink that is more even for, families in needs using, Lifeline, using any governmental help. Yep. We have Simple, that we are also here pushing really, really hard, very international oriented. Yep. So you can see that we have different brands, helping us to target different segments in the marketplace.
Definitely. And we'll dive deeper into some of these specific brands later on, but I think it's important to know how you actually got to this point, because before you acquired TracFone in 2021, you didn't have much of a presence inside the prepaid space. So, and we're seeing companies acquire other smaller brands all the time. Earlier this year, the deal for T-Mobile to acquire Mint and Ultra Mobile closed, and it just seems like more companies now are trying to acquire smaller brands to develop a presence in their own space on the MNOs end. So do you think that's a positive thing that these major network operators are acquiring the smaller brands, or do you think it could be a problem with, a lack of competition?
I think actually will increase the competition, because what we are seeing is the example of Mint, right? Yep. Got acquired, and actually they are leveraging it. Yeah. And they're actually putting more focus on, they just launched a very aggressive promo recently. Yeah. So as long as these acquisitions are happening not to absorb the customers and eliminate the brand, I think we will continue to see more brands focusing on different segments. Look, the mid-market is big. Yeah. So you have different income levels, different credit scores, so we do have a space to create different brands to really fit the needs of the different customers.
Oh, nice. So to kind of go off of that question, with postpaid and the major carriers, I don't feel like there's as much innovation going on. It's kind of come to a standstill. And a lot of the innovation on the postpaid side is kind of on the marketing end, right? You got My Plan from Verizon, postpaid.
I did My Plan, but yes.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That was innovative, right?
Yeah. Innovative example of marketing, or like the Go 5G plans from T-Mobile, and AT&T's kind of new and existing customer deals, kind of the angle they're taking. On the prepaid side, there's a lot more innovation, I feel like, because when there's more competition and there's more smaller companies, each one needs to stand out. And we're seeing a lot of small companies here at the Expo. So when a brand has been acquired, do you think there's still room for innovations like this when it's been acquired or even just matured, kind of existed on the market for a long time?
It depends. But look, I do think that in the case of Verizon, you will see more innovation in the prepaid brands, also supported by Verizon per se. Let me give you an example. Because we acquired these brands, now we're putting more weight in the network features, 5G ultra wideband, that before, these brands didn't have access to. Then that's one piece. Then think about also the other one, devices. Let me give one example there. Because Verizon has so much devices coming through trade-in, we're planning to leverage those devices, pre-loved devices, pre-owned devices, into the prepaid market, so you can have bigger formats. That's another
Yeah.
And then let me give you another example of something that I think would be great in the future. In my plan, we have several partners, right?
Yep.
Content,
Yep.
streamers, gaming,
Yep.
you name it.
Yeah.
So what about if some of those inclusions kind of make it to the prepaid side?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you could see, at least from the Verizon side, those three axes.
Yeah.
More network features,
Okay.
more devices,
Yep.
and then more inclusions.
Nice.
So that's why I'm very, very excited about what we can do with the value brands in Verizon.
For sure. So now let's kind of pivot a little bit, because what I do is very consumer facing, and it seems like whenever I talk about affordable wireless services, there's like almost a stigma around them, because people think it's just, because it's cheap, it sucks. And I do everything I can to kind of explain how that's not true, because every carrier just really uses 3 or 4 networks, and they're paying for access at wholesale rates. So as one of the leaders of an entire group of value brands, how do you overcome that kind of misconception and get everyone interested in prepaid, even those who are more used to postpaid?
Yes, and it's true what you say, the perception that prepay, because it's lower, a more affordable price,
Right.
Is not as good,
Yeah.
is a total myth.
Yeah.
Because let me give you the example of Total Wireless.
Yep.
You can actually, in our plans, get exactly the same amazing network
Yep.
that you can get in postpaid
Yep.
at much affordable prices. Now, there is a difference though,
Yeah.
because you are coming to us, we don't require any, social security, anything. We don't do this big financing and promotions of devices.
Right. Right.
So if you want the very high-end device, yes, postpaid may be the best place for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a good, affordable device, you can actually get the very best network
Yeah.
in prepaid. Is as good, as postpaid side.
Yeah.
So that's key, and it's an education process that we need to,
Right.
with your help.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Definitely.
get to your users,
Yeah.
and I think it's changing. You start seeing like visible,
Yep.
getting a lot of traction.
Yep.
For the digital savvy customers, because you see it.
Yeah.
You go to the digital website and you can see visible versus other providers. You say,
Yeah.
this is as good as any postpaid brand.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've been in wireless for over 4 years, and just in that short amount of time, prepaid is caught up so close to postpaid. There used to be a huge gap, right? There used to be some noticeable compromises you get. But now it's like the same service, and it's at a more affordable price, and in many ways it's better. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. Do you think there will be a time where prepaid cannibalizes postpaid?
Look, I think to your point, through the years, prepaid, in particular in the network side, is getting better,
Yeah.
and kind of overlapping with postpaid, right?
Yeah.
By the way, postpaid, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is also pushing down. So the lines are blurry now.
Okay.
But in terms of network, though, yes, they're blurry. And you may want, to be in prepaid and have the very best network. You
Yeah.
get Total Wireless.
Yeah.
You may want to be in postpaid because you want a device.
Yeah.
You can get Verizon postpaid.
Okay.
So even though I would not call it cannibalization,
Yeah.
but there is an overlap
Yeah.
on the network features.
Definitely.
But there are other pieces that differentiate postpaid to prepaid, and in particular, I think the key differentiator is the device component.
Okay.
Because you can actually have a contract and you have a
Right.
financing,
Right.
that you can do in postpaid versus in prepaid. We don't go that path. So that's probably the differentiator will be there.
Mhm.
But on the other aspects, network features,
Yeah.
no, we are as good as postpaid.
And honestly, that one differentiator the device offers, that's kind of a small difference, really. And what we just saw presented at the conferences was how Boost Mobile combined the postpaid, which used to be Boost Infinite, and the prepaid Boost Mobile into one brand, kind of saying, prepaid and postpaid shouldn't be products. It's just kind of different ways of doing it. Do you think you could kind of see that happening when the again, the lines are kind of blurring between prepaid and postpaid in general.
Yeah, I see that easily happening. Yeah, and
Yeah.
in particular, you can see, the Verizon prepaid brand
Yeah.
with plans that are very similar to postpaid.
Yeah, exactly.
And back to, postpaid, we have been innovating
Yeah.
on the content side.
Yeah.
If you put that in the prepaid side, what is the difference? It's
Right.
just you want a device or not.
Right.
We're very close to be there.
Yes. So you're close to kind of converging. All right.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned earlier, Verizon has a lot of different brands under its more value-oriented portfolio. Meanwhile, like lots of companies look to kind of focus on just one brand. So do you think one brand can have a huge appeal, or is it better to have multiple different sub-brands to target different types of people?
No, definitely. I think that having multiple brands is better. Let me give you an example. When we were trying to penetrate the multicultural segment, and we were having Total by Verizon.
Yep.
Some of the when you think about Verizon as a one umbrella, and you want to go to the lower income, more multicultural, or to the urban, more lower income segment, then there is this, perception that maybe it's not the best brand for me. It's maybe too expensive.
Yeah.
So you need a different brand to really connect with the segments.
Yeah.
So if you look at the mid-market, all the lower income, you have segments that are really in need under the poverty line.
Yeah.
That need a different brand.
Yep.
That will, you cannot go with a Verizon postpaid to this segment.
Right.
Then you have, other segments like individuals, families, that, you may need something different. In the case of Total, clearly we're going after the urban multicultural.
Okay.
And we had to rebrand it to really make a brand more welcoming for this segment. So in my mind, having these 7 brands that we have really create a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Because then you can target the different segments in a better way.
Yeah.
You see our TracFone brand, more towards the seniors, and we're going to put more emphasis there. But it is a perfect brand for them. You pay only what you need. That's what they care about it.
Yep.
You cannot do that with Total. Total for seniors is maybe too much.
Right. Right.
So too much in terms of speed and network features. The seniors may want something more basic, and we can do that with TracFone. So that's why I strongly believe that having different brands will help us to penetrate better the entire market.
Yep.
Because we look at all the segments and we position the different brands towards them.
Yeah, that was a really good answer. So finally, to finish it off, what plan and phone are you personally using right now?
Total Wireless.
All right.
5G Plus. You have to check it out.
Yes.
So Total Wireless 5G Plus is, as I explained, the very best network that we have in postpaid. At much affordable prices. We actually have something interesting. Unlimited mobile hotspot. That we don't have in postpaid.
Right. You don't even
So we even have better network features in Total Wireless than in postpaid. So that's the plan that I like.
Well, thank you again, Arturo, for agreeing to come here and do this. And thank you all for watching this video. Once again, this was not sponsored by Verizon. It's just kind of a cool way to look inside the wireless industry. So if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Drop a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And I'll see you in the next video.